The sun bled across the sky, a blood-red eclipse began, it swallowed the light. Darkness tinged with crimson fell upon the forgotten continent. Strange shadows danced upon the ancient stones. The air grew cold, heavy with an unspoken dread. This was not a natural twilight, it was a sign, a portent of immense power soon to be unleashed upon the unsuspecting world. 2,000 years ago, the heavens prepared for a spectacle of raw, untamed magic, a clash that would echo through ages yet unknown to mortal kind, its memory preserved only in whispers and fading lore. A speck of impossible light appeared in the heart of the darkened sun. It grew, it descended. The celestial phoenix, a creature of myth and burning glory, came forth. Its wings, vast and incandescent, beat against the oppressive gloom. Each downstroke sent showers of golden embers into the still air. It was a being of pure fire, an avatar of solar wrath and rebirth. The forgotten land below, silent for centuries, seemed to hold its breath. The very fabric of reality shimmered around the descending deity, its presence warping the natural order. The phoenix was a vision of terrible beauty. Its feathers were individual flames shifting in hues of orange, gold, and deepest crimson. Its eyes, like molten gold, surveyed the world below with an ancient, unknowable intelligence. A palpable aura of intense heat radiated from its form, making the air tremble. The scent of sulfur and something akin to burning stars filled the atmosphere. This was no mere bird. It was a primal force, an embodiment of destruction and creation. Its purpose shrouded in the mists of time, its arrival a harbinger of cataclysmic change. It flew lower, over jagged volcanic peaks and sleeping forests. The forgotten continent had known eons of silence. Now an ancient power disturbed its slumber. The phoenix's cry, a sound like shattering crystal and roaring fire, echoed across the desolate valleys. The magical aura it exuded was immense, a vibrant, pulsating energy that caused the very stones to hum. This was a land steeped in old magic, a place where the boundaries between worlds were thin, and the arrival of such a being was a catalyst for events long prophesied and feared. As the phoenix glided, its wings of fire brushed the mountaintops. Great gouts of flame erupted, they scorched the ancient peaks. The old gray stone blackened instantly. Rivers of molten rock began to flow down the slopes. Forests, untouched for millennia, burst into infernos. The heat was a physical blow, a wave of searing power. The land itself seemed to scream under the fiery caress. The celestial creature showed no concern, its path marked by devastation, its purpose seemingly to set the world ablaze, a cleansing fire before an unknown ritual. The intense heat, the raw magic, seeped deep into the earth. It reached the roots of the volcanic mountains. Upon their flanks, ancient runes, carved by hands long turned to dust, began to glow. They pulsed with an eerie internal light, first faintly, then with increasing intensity. These symbols of forgotten power responded to the phoenix's aura. The ground trembled, a deep resonant hum filled the air, a vibration that spoke of immense energies stirring from a profound slumber within the planet's core, a power that had lain dormant for countless ages. Deep beneath the churning, boiling seas, something ancient awakened. The serpent of the abyss, coiled in the lightless depths for 2,000 years, felt the disturbance. The fire from above, the thrumming of the runes, it was an unwelcome intrusion. Its vast, cold mind stirred from an age-long torpor. Slowly one colossal eye, a slit of cold malice in the dark, opened. It had slept through empires rising and falling, but this new disruption was a direct challenge, a call it could not ignore, a fiery affront to its domain. The surface of the ocean began to heave. Steam hissed into the air as the water temperature rose unnaturally. Then, with a surge that displaced mountains of water, the sea serpent broke the surface. Its scales were the color of a stormy sea, dark and shimmering. Each scale was larger than a knight's shield. Its head, crowned with jagged horns, rose high above the waves. Its eyes, twin pools of icy fury, fixed upon the fiery form in the sky. The air crackled with a primal tension, the world now a stage for two ancient adversaries. The blood-red eclipse persisted, casting an unholy light upon the scene. Swirling clouds gathered with impossible speed. They were blacker than a moonless night, shot through with streaks of violent purple. Thunder cracked overhead, not the sound of a normal storm, but the hammer of gods. Each peal seemed to shake the foundations of the world. Lightning, sharp and cruel, tore through the sky, illuminating the monstrous serpent and the blazing phoenix. The very air grew thick, charged with an almost unbearable magical pressure, a prelude to titanic conflict. The phoenix let out a piercing shriek, a challenge that cut through the roar of the thunder. It was a sound of defiance, of pure, unadulterated power. The sea serpent responded with a guttural hiss, a sound that seemed to emanate from the deepest trenches of the ocean, a promise of cold, crushing doom. Then they moved. The phoenix dived, a comet of living fire. The serpent lunged upwards, a pillar of dark water and scaled fury. The clash was inevitable, a destiny written in fire and brine, a battle for dominion. Fire met water. An explosion of steam and raw magic ripped through the sky. Scalding rain fell upon the burning land. The phoenix's flames, potent enough to melt mountains, warred against the serpent's chilling aura and blasts of abyssal water. The serpent's coils, strong enough to crush continents, sought to ensnare the fiery bird. Each impact sent shockwaves across the sky, visible distortions in the fabric of reality. The battle lit up the heavens, a terrifying display of raw, elemental power, a dance of destruction. The fight raged, a maelstrom of fire and shadow. The phoenix, agile and swift, darted around the serpent's slower, more powerful attacks. It unleashed torrents of celestial flame, trying to boil the very essence of its foe. The serpent countered with colossal waves summoned from the tormented ocean, and blasts of freezing energy that sought to extinguish the phoenix's light. Below, the forgotten continent groaned. Volcanic peaks erupted with renewed violence, spewing molten rock into the blood-red sky, adding to the chaos of the celestial war. Upon the highest, most remote peak, untouched by the immediate chaos, stood a lone figure. She was cloaked in silver and shadow, her face hidden by a deep cowl. This was Lyra, the last High Priestess of the Moon, guardian of forgotten lore. She was the sole mortal witness to this epic battle, a silent observer of a war between demigods. Her vigil was ancient, her duty passed down through generations, waiting for this very moment, this prophesied conflagration that would reshape the spiritual landscape of the world. Her eyes, ancient and filled with a weary wisdom, reflected the fiery spectacle in the sky. She did not flinch from the blinding flashes of light, nor from the deafening roars. She had seen visions of this night in the scrying pools, in the movements of the celestial spheres. The glowing runes on the distant mountains were familiar to her. Their meaning was clear. The intense magical aura that saturated the air was a language she understood, a symphony of creation and destruction playing out before her very eyes, a testament to powers beyond mortal ken. She knew this was no random encounter. The phoenix and the serpent were ancient nemeses, their conflict woven into the very fabric of existence. Their battle was a cosmic necessity, a rebalancing of primordial forces. The blood-red eclipse was the celestial stage, the forgotten continent the sacrificial altar. The High Priestess clutched a lunar amulet, its cool silver a stark contrast to the raging inferno before her. Her role was not to interfere, but to observe, to remember, and to record what transpired for the scant few who might later understand. The heavens wept fire and shadow. The phoenix blazed with the fury of a dying star. The serpent embodied the cold, unyielding power of the abyss. Their auras clashed, painting the sky in strokes of impossible violence. Lyra watched as mountains crumbled and seas boiled. She saw the raw essence of magic unleashed, unchained and terrifying. When the echoes of the battle finally faded, only she would carry the memory of the night the phoenix fought the sea serpent, under the gaze of a blood-red moon, inscribing it into the annals of the silent gods.